Hi, my name is Celeste Quintero, and thank you back on joining me today. So today we're talking mostly about test plans, but I do want to touch up a little bit on software testers again. So software testers always have to make sure that the test plans follow the test cases, and they also have to make sure that they're knowing how to write the test case. So usually there are 3 different scenarios that happens in order to test out a project. The first one is to make sure to always have a test plan. The second one is to always create test cases based on the business requirements or what the customer is wanting on the site, and also the test plans. And number 3 is, of course, completing test cases, and that's the main testing for the functionalities of the websites or applications. Now, the test plan is based on several different things. The first thing we're talking about is objectives. So what is the main goal for the customer, and what is it that they want for the app or the website to accomplish? The second one is, of course, scope and out of scope. So all scope means is what is it that's going to be tested, or what do we need to have tested by a certain date? Out of scope means the opposite. What is not going to be tested at all during the test plan. Now, number 3 is assumptions. All assumptions means is that you're assuming that you're having the full user rights to test out the app or the website. You're usually going to be given a user account to make sure that you're managing your test plan documents, because even as a software tester, you are going to have to give those files over and share them along with the company that you're working for. The fourth different thing that you need for the test plan is you need to have an entry and exit criteria. The entry criteria is just to make sure that your test plans are approved by your project manager or your QA manager. That is very important, so communication is key here. And then you also have to make sure that all the database developers, the business teams, and the other developers, they should always be notified about system test dates. So you are working in a team. You are making sure that you're executing, communication, letting them know about any of the updates that you're doing onto the test plans. The exit criteria is making sure that the test cases need to be created. You need to make sure that also all the portions that you need to test out are completely tested. And you need to give the test case evidence to management because, of course, they're going to need to know what are some bugs or fixes, what are some things that you've encountered in order to improve the product. And you should also make sure that all the deliverables that is going to be given to you is going to be completed and completely signed off by your management team. The fifth thing that is going to be required for a test plan is the environment. So you have to make sure that you're giving the platform test system of the website or application. So that's just the system test platform. And you're also going to be giving your requirement documentation. It's going to be linked to SharePoint, and that you have the required test management tool access. So some of these tools that is going to give you access includes the Quality Center, Jira, TestLink, and much, much more. The sixth thing you're going to be looking for test plans is it's going to be based on the risks. So risk just means what are the strict deadlines that you're going to be given. And sometimes, unfortunately, strict deadlines do affect the accuracy of your system test. The reason for that is because, of course, sometimes you're just given a strict date, and sometimes you just have a lot to test. And so sometimes just trying to quickly get through these different tests kind of leads to the accuracy to be affected in a negative way. The other risk that you run into is that you have limited access to the system tools or the test platforms. And by doing this, sometimes that just means you have to reach out to other people like developers or other people in the company, and it just makes you, give that performance at a later time. It just makes you late. And of course, the seventh thing that test plans are based on is, of course, key dates and deliverables. All this means is deadlines. Deadlines, of course, as you already know, is very important, especially when it is that you're trying to release a new product, an app, or a website. And you know that sometimes There are a lot of people who could be, waiting on a launch for so long. They get so excited about a product. So of course, it just means deadlines. The eighth thing that is important for test plans is the scripts and files. So your scripts and files, they'll usually be stored in SharePoint or a shared drive. And of course, you're going to be sharing your specific links or your specific shared drive for all of the files of your test execution results. Like I said, you're working along with the team, making sure that everything is running effectively, that you also deliver the documentation to show, hey, these are the tests that were being performed and how they were doing. The ninth thing is, of course, roles and responsibilities. As you'll see on my website, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's when you get with the team and you start to say, okay, well, John's role is to, be the developer. My role is to be the QA tester, and all these other things. So that's all it means for number 9. Number 10 is closure. So you have to give all your test cases and files to your managers, whether that is your project manager or your QA manager. Also, before testing a website, you always have to complete your test cases. So that is the test plan and what it's based on, and I hope it helped.